Welcome to another edition of Striker's Best Bets. Piere, I know that you went live golf last week. How did you enjoy it?
I loved it. The heat got to me because there was like no shade walking up and down. I can only imagine how the players, they must have suffered a little bit. But what an experience. I would recommend it to anyone, even if you just go once in your life. It was a hell of a vibe.
Yeah, they say that like we're actually chatting at the office this morning, and they were saying that this event broke so many live golf records for attendances, for purchasing of merchandise, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah. No, and entertainment offered as well. And I mean, if you wanted to have something to eat or a drink, it was all there. It was a really good vibe. Everyone just seemed so happy. I saw some videos where people were punching one another, but that's obviously after a few drinks.
Well, that's what karate juice does to you, Pierre. That's
True.
what it does to you. But more importantly, we are previewing Turffontein Standside for Saturday, 28th of March. Next week, just to let our viewers know, we're previewing Champions Day for the 4th of April, which is going to be a great day. We are working on getting a top trainer for his comments. He's going to be joining us on the show, and we will be recording the show on the Wednesday instead of the Thursday. So hopefully we'll have the show out on Wednesday afternoon next week, which is great. Should we get into it?
Ready?
So we're going to start in race 2 as normal. First leg of the bar pot. They're betting over 1,400 meters. They are betting 14 to 10, number 2, Prayers and Promises. 33 to 10, number 1, Dear Doc. 6 to 1, number 3, Dad's Dream. 15 to 2, number 6, Mega Awesome. And 15 to 2, number 7, Parachute Adams. 17 to 2, number 5, Highway Code, and 10 to 1, and better the rest.
So I just explain how I found the tracks running and what's in your favor. To me, a 1,400 around a bend, drawn well, is a huge advantage. The favorite Prayers and Promises has got good form, strong form. There's been winners out of it. So you can't go against the form. Only problem is drawn 9. So will it get a good position? Will it go forward and burn its energy up in the beginning, or will it have to sit further back, not to race wide, and then you've got too much ground to make up? So I obviously have to respect the form and the ability they're also showing. But for my draw, I would I would lean towards something that's got a lot in its favor, and that gives me number 3, Dad's Dream. I'm actually going to give him give it as my first choice. Drawn 1, got 3 kilograms, turn around with the winners, so that's some more form. So I think a bit of value with number 3, Dad's Dream, you can't go wrong, and maybe even banker him in the bar pot as he's drawn 1, getting 3 kilograms, and his form's fairly strong. So I'm gonna in a bar pot, I'm banking number 3, Dad's Dream.
Yeah, it's a very competitive race. I know that the favourite, there's been a little bit of money for the favourite. The form lines are very, very strong. There's been winners out of both starts. I'm not a fan of maiden winners, and you are 100% correct. That draw is a little bit of a worry. So I get what you're saying, and I tend to agree with you. If you like, if the viewers like, or like Dear Doc, like you said, a Dad's Dream has got to be a huge runner. He was finishing quicker than Dear Doc when they met. That form line behind his house, although eight and a quarter lengths, behind Heath House, there's been many, many winners, and there was more winners in its next start that came out of that form line with Turn It Up. So I tend to agree with you. The draw plays a major, major role in this, and Dad's Dream is a big runner. Let's move on to race 3, Piere, which is the first leg of the PA. Over 1,160 meters. They're betting 7 to 10, number 1, Wisp in the Willow, 5 to 2, number 7, Green and Gold, 6 to 1, number 8, Humaria, and 11 to 1 and better the rest.
Yeah, I see the favourite is number 1, Wisp in the Willow, but it's got a merit rating of 73. Maidens with 73, with that low merit rating, normally doesn't show that they've got. They haven't got to a merit where you can rate them as a good maiden. They are very average maidens. She's had 4 runs already, so something's got to be favoured. Doesn't look like it's a strong field, but the obvious unknown horse is number 7, Green and Gold, just because it did get beat by almost 8 lengths last time, and it was his first run. And if you look at the next race, number 1, Highwayman Harry, he's got quite a high merit rating of 78. Well, a couple points more than number 1, yeah. So I'm going to go with number 7, Green and Gold. And also, I know Sean Terry's horses, they always come on a lot from their first run. They improve a lot. Like he says, he always says to his jockeys, I want my horse to have a good educational run, and it must run on at the finish. I don't want you to chase my horse into the ground and get tired, and it sets the horse back for a run or two. He wants his horses to improve with every run. And I think this will be the perfect race for Green and Gold to make the improvement and come through in a weak field. So I'm banking number 7, Green and Gold, as well.
Okay, we move on to race 4, Piere, which is the first leg of the Pick 6, also over 1,160 meters. I notice your nephew is now starting to ride for the Tony Peter yard, which is great to hear. I followed him, or I followed his career pretty closely when he was in the UK. Obviously riding for Dylan Kuna, who's his future father-in-law, a very good friend of mine, Dylan Kuna. We go back many, many years. So it's great to see Carl back in South Africa, plying his trade. He's obviously learned a lot, and it's good to have him back in South Africa.
Yeah, I've always said to jocks, if you can travel, you've got to travel. Because remember, we ride in South Africa. You learn certain things. You learn sort of 90% of how to ride a horse, but you also have to learn how to ride a track, not just the horse itself, but a track. And by riding the UK or Hong Kong, wherever, it teaches you to ride different ways of what suits your horse for the race. And the UK taught me a lot about getting a horse to go to the front, relax, and maintain that sort of that pace. So yeah, it's a big advantage for him to have gone to the UK, and obviously that will show. People will see it in the near future as soon as he gets some decent rides. I think he's had 2 rides, and they haven't looked too good. So let's see on
But
Saturday.
you're only as good as your last ride, Piere. So I mean, if he's not riding horses that aren't too good, he will show a case class as he starts riding more and more here. But okay, just a quick story. I was on course on Saturday because we sponsored the Sycamore, and I was there to do the trophy handovers. And Michaela Michel, that French lady that's come from France, she told a certain trainer, she won the race. She told a certain trainer in the running, quite frankly, the trainer wasn't happy with the ride. As they came around the turn, she never had cover, and she came out for a run early on with no cover, and he was going absolutely bananas. she ended up winning the race. And when she got off the horse, he said to her, "You never had cover. I was going mad." And she says, "But that's how we ride in France. Like, we don't look for the cover. If the
Yeah.
horses are good enough, like, we pull them out and they must run on." And that's
Yeah.
exactly what she did. So this is obviously, in terms of Carl, it's different styles of riding. You'll pick up different ways of riding, which is great. And it's great for our jocks as well, because
Yeah.
they will probably learn from Carl.
Yeah, look, I must be honest. I watched that race, and I was very critical of her ride as well. I thought if she just came back a quarter of a length, she would have sat right up the leader's backside. There was a big gap between her and a third place horse, so the pace must have been on. And the fact that she went all the way wide and just couldn't go back a little bit to get the cover, and then follow horse through. I was very critical of the ride myself. I don't believe the way she rode was correct, and maybe that horse follow it next time. It probably will next time as well.
Yeah, for me, uh, okay, going through the 400, I said, well, this is her. I mean, like, the horse is done. But the horse just kept on finding, and apparently this is what they do in France, is that they don't look for cover. Um, if the horse is good enough, like, from there it'll win, type of thing.
Look,
Which was,
if it goes slow enough, you don't have to look for cover because then they're straining the horse. But if you're going at that pace, where the leader was going a good pace, then you should find cover. Anyway, let's move on
yeah.
to the next.
Let's move on to the next race. So race 4, first leg of the pick 6 over 1160 meters. They're betting 17-10, number 9, Geostorm, which, by the way, is the brother to Buffalo Storm Cody.
Okay.
24-10, number 1, Highwayman Harry. 7-2, number 2, Hammer Blow. 11-2, number 4, Tigers Captain. And 10-1, and better the rest.
Well, you quite well connected to the stable. Have you got any info there?
So I can tell you, the stable fancy the horse. Very, very nice horse. They fancied it first time out, ran a cracker, 2 lengths to Ice Dragon. Unfortunately, there were no winners out of that form line. It's coming back after a long break. So for me, I've gone 2 horses in my bipods, PAs, and pick sixes, purely because of the rest with
Okay.
Geostorm. But I can tell you that he is a brother of Buffalo Storm Cody, and if he's anything like his brother, he's going to be a proper racehorse.
All right, so let's include him, but like you say, let's just back up. Maybe put the number 1 in Highwayman Harry, just because he's got the strongest form lines, and he's fit and he's consistent. So let's put in 1 Highwayman Harry and number 9 Geostorm. I found another horse that's got quite solid form. I know he was beaten 15 lengths. Number 8 Captain's Express. Many winners out of that form line. So if there's a bit of money for him, maybe just take note of that. But I think the 1 and a 9 should get us through.
So there has been some money pre-race for him, anti-post. Just bear in mind that betting came out late yesterday afternoon, so the markets are still very volatile. Captain's Express has been backed from 25-1 to 16-1 already. So there has been a bit of money for him.
Right. Okay.
And also, he's drawn on the right side of the track. He's drawn 10. He's got Blaine Marks Jacobson, who's riding out of his skin. He's lost his 4-kilo claim, as we know. He now claims 2.5, and they've taken the tongue tie off as well. So he could be a runner.
Yep.
We move on to race 5, also over 1160. First leg of the first jackpot. They are betting very open. We have 4-1, number 5, the specialist. 11 to 2, number 10, Lead the Charge. 6 to 1, number 6, Eco Check. 7 to 1, number 4, Give Me the Good Life. And number 11 plus 4, 9 to 1, number 8, Vibe SA. 10 to 1, number 3, The Last Duke.
Yeah, wow, difficult race. I mean, this is not a handicap, so the best weighted horses should come out on top. Blizzard Snow is not even in a betting as far as I see.
Blizzard Snow has drifted from 9 to 1 to 12 to 1.
Sure. And that's the best handicap horse. So it shows you how difficult it is. The second best handicap horse is Pot Berry. It looks like he's second run from a rest as well. So I'm going to go with number 3, The Last Duke. 3-year-old, obviously more scope for improvement than the older horse. I'm going to go with number 4, Give Me the Good Life. Unfortunately, it's drawn 1. But I have seen of late horses coming through from a draw. Number 6, Echo Check. I know last time it ran last, but that was over 1600. And before that, run against some really strong horses. And in fact, this could be the horse. If he's fit and ready, Echo Check could be the horse that all have to beat. And then I'm going to put number 10 in as well. Lead the Charge. It's just that I've been going light in my bypass and stuff, and I keep going out 1 leg or 2 legs, and because I'm trying to cut it down to as much as possible. So I'm going to go with 4 horses here: 3, 4, 6, and 10.
Yeah, very hard race, very open pair. If I could put Field in my place accumulator, I would. Okay, that's how hard I think the race is. For me, I like Give Me the Good Life. I liked that run last Saturday. I was on course. He ran out of his skin. Ziasha was a gin strike. There was big money for Ziasha. William Robertson was in the race. If you put William Robertson in this race, I think William Robertson will start 1 to 5. So for me, Give Me the Good Life is a big runner. As you say, the only problem is that he's drawn 1. But they were winning down the inside on Saturday, Pierre. I noticed. So it's very possible that the horse can come from that draw. So let's move on to race 6. Over a mile, over 1,600 meters. Another open race. They're betting 15 or 4, number 1, Unsolved Riddle. 5 to 1, number 2, Frangipani. And number 6, Peregrine Falcon. They're betting 11 to 2, number 4, Guerrilla Warfare. 8 to 1, number 3, Chieftain Shield. Number 5, Deception Pass. And number 9, Mocha Frappe. 10 to 1, number 7, War Reporter. And number 8, American Beauty.
Yeah, another difficult race. Another favorite is Unsolved Riddle. My concern about Unsolved Riddle, it won last time out, and it gone up 4 points, which means it's 2 kilograms, equivalent to 2 kilograms. It's 2 lengths. Plus, Mark Jacobson doesn't ride Unsolved Riddle this time, so the claiming gets lost as well. So that is another couple of kilos. So there's quite a huge turnaround, if I can say, in the merit rating and the weights. So I'm not saying it can't win, but I'm going to go against Unsolved Riddle. I'm going to go with number 2, Frangipani. I just think that she's still a 3-year-old, can improve. She's against fairly decent horses in the past. I'm going to include number 4, Guerrilla Warfare. Nice draw. Number 6, Peregrine Falcon as well. I know last time ran a shocker, but apparently a spiritual noise. So from a good draw. And then I'm going to include number 9, Mocha Frappe. I think it's coming down in merit rating quite a bit now. Better distance, drawn 2. So I'm including 4 horses here because it is a tough race. So I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, and 7. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, and 9. 2, 4, 6, and 9.
None. I agree with you. Very, very hard race. The Cape Raiders or the Cape Horses, when they get to Joburg, those first 1 or 2 runs, they just perform so much better. So I agree with you, but I'm adding in a horse called American Beauty. He's a nice price. He's 10-1, or she's 10-1, should I say. Form lines aren't bad. Cape Town form for me is stronger than Joburg form. We've seen many Cape Town horses arrive on the half veld and first time out and second time out win, especially out of the Tiny Peter yard. Brett Weber also springs to mind. He's had a couple that have come out first time out and won. So I'm
So
also
let's.
including.
And which one can we take out?
I beg your pardon?
So let's swap American Beauty with something else.
No, we're not swapping, Pierre. We're adding. Don't you know the old adage? You never take out. You always add.
Okay.
We're adding American Beauty. We're not taking out anything else.
True.
Because the law of averages is the horse we take out is going to get us through the bar pots and the pick sixes, and American Beauty, we're in trouble. So we're adding American Beauty. It's just a perception of mine is that the Cape Town horses come to Joburg and they do pretty well. So I would add that in. Let's move on to race 7 over a mile, another 1600-meter race. They're betting 2-1, number 1, Chronicle King, 22-10, number 4, King Herald, 4-1, number 5, Gerbera, 5-1, number 2, Dance King, and number 3, Jimmy Don, and 12-1 and better.
Okay, so this is a progress plate, so it's not a handicap. Certain also a better handicap. The best handicap horse is number 3, Jimmy Don, but he hasn't run. He didn't run for 3 years, and he's had 1 run. So maybe the second run will still affect him. So I'm not going to go with Jimmy Don. Then the third best handicap horse is number 7, Tax Haven. He seems like he needs distance and shouldn't be able to win this race. And so the horse that sort of just stands out is number 1, Chronicle King. He's the second best handicapped horse in the race. Got a nice draw. He's got the form. The young 3-year-old can improve more. And for that reason, I'm banking number 1, Chronicle King. Possibly my best bet on the day.
I'm on exactly the same page as you, Pierre. I'll make this one of the better bets on the day. Not worried about the 61 kilos. Huge runner. Let's move on to race 8. Over 1,000 meters. They are betting 9-10, number 1, Precocious, 3-1, number 8, Mystical Miss, 6-1, number 7, Fiery Rose, 7-1, number 3, Stormy Day, 10-1, number 2, Just the Two of Us, and 14-1, and Bar the Rest.
Basically, I think if you wanted to, you could bank number 1, Precocious. I know it's going for 5 in a row, which makes it very difficult. But you only got 4 points penalty last time. Well, for the punter, unfortunately, Mark Jacobson's now lost from 4 kilos to 2.5, so it's another 1.5 kilogram disadvantage for Precocious. So horses can't win forever, unless they are superstars. But she obviously has to be included in your place accumulator. In fact, she can win this race just on form alone. But if you wanted to, in the place accumulator, you could follow up with maybe number 8, Mystical Miss. I just like that she's come down quite a lot in the merit rating. So turnover and weight is good. She's getting the claimer from Michelle. So all that little bit will help her a lot and be in her favor. But she's drawn 1. I like horses to be drawn on the outside down the straight. and Precocious has got a lot still in her favor. So you could either bank a number 1 Precocious. If you're scared, include number 8 Mystical Miss.
So yeah, we got a horse, exactly what I said about Tony Peters' horse in the 7th race. Precocious arrived on the half veld, had its first run on the 11th of Jan,
Yes.
and she hasn't stopped winning. She was a maiden when she arrived here. She had a merit rating of 79. She's now 104. She's gone up 25 points, which it's 12 and a half kilos. So here's the prime example. Cape Town horse arrived on the half veld. She's done absolutely nothing wrong since she's been here. My only worry is that there's a huge turnaround in the weights with Mystical Miss. I think that Precocious is a very, very, very nice horse. But for me, I would be putting in the 2 horses, Precocious and Mystical Miss, purely because of the turnaround in weights on that last run. Let's move on to race 9, Pier. Final leg of the PA in pick 6. They're betting 22 to 10, number 1, Blind Fire. 3 to 1, number 3, Temperillo. 5 to 1, number 5, Kia Car. 7 to 1, number 6, My Dear Friend. 15 to 2, number 4, Lovable. And 10 to 1 and better the rest.
Yes, so for the place accumulator, I've cut it down to 2 horses. Blind Fire. Unfortunately, I'm repeating myself here. So Mark Jacobson is not claiming 4, he's only claiming 2.5, so that's a disadvantage. Blind Fire went up for not winning last time. 3 points, it's another 1.5 kilogram disadvantage. But she's got the form, so she has to be included. But because all those issues are not bankering her, I'm going to put in Tempranillo. Also had a small, well, basically a month break, and then ran the end of January, so she should be spot on for this race. I would say include 1 and 3.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. It's not cut and dried for Blind Fire. I'm a little bit worried about the draw, but Blaine Marks Jacobson has done nothing wrong. He's had 2 cracks with her, and for a win and a second. She is up in the merit rating for running second. So I also like Tempranillo, and I'm also including a filly by the name of Miss Stormy Atrix. She loves the distance. She is a maiden winner. I don't tend to go normally for maiden winners, but I believe that she has come on from that maiden win for our viewers. So they should include her as well. Pierre, I think overall it's a sticky card. I don't think there are standout bets, barring Chronicle
King, yeah.
barring Chronicle King. So it is a sticky card, and we don't know if there's going to be any more rain on the weekend. So the guys must use, as we keep on telling them, to use your selections as a guide, and add where they think they need to add.
Cool.
Pierre, thank you so much. It was great seeing you again. As we say, next week we are doing our podcast on the Wednesday, and we're going to have a special guest with us. We just finishing tying it up. I'm just finishing tying it up, and he's going to give us great insights into Champions Day, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday. And for our viewers, happy punting, and make lots and lots and lots of money.
Happy punting.